welcome to another video. Today's topic, what we learned from the UFC 303. Starting off with the main event, I'll work my way down to the first prelim fight of the night. I don't want to start off again with talking about Ricky Simon, and I'm sure you guys are going to appreciate that. So without further ado, if you enjoyed last week's video, maybe tell some of my picks, please subscribe and leave a like. Starting off with the main event, Alex Pereira versus Garry Prochazka. God, that was just so hard to watch. That was so hard for me to watch. Garry is one of my top favorite fighters on the roster. And even if you're an Alex fan, that was hard to watch as an MMA fan of the sport. Cause that looked like fucking Robert Whittaker versus Ikram Aliskerov. Garry looked like an unranked idiot, and he's the number one prospect. I know Pereira is very good. The Waterson is levels above everybody in that division. That division is terrible. Heavyweight, light heavyweight, probably middleweight have to go. Those divisions suck. Okay, the Waterson started training MMA 3 years ago, and look at this guy. Levels, ability. It seems that he's the only one at that weight class that takes this seriously. I mean, we have Garry here fucking hitting on trees, going on into his little dark room for days without eating and shit. And I think that's great. I think that's very fun. That's very unique. That's cool. I like that about Garry. We need more fighters like him, because he has his own personality. I'm not saying stop doing that. Never do that again. If you like that and that's the way you like to, keep your body active. But you cannot go into a fight doing all that bullshit and expect you to win every single time. Okay, that's just stupid. That's delusional. And yes, you have to be delusional to fight in this sport. Have that tism too. But God, was that hard to watch. I mean, I know there were a lot of casuals on that arena. If you told a casual that was there just to watch McGregor, you told him, hey, this guy Garry, he's making his UFC debut. He only has 3 years of MMA experience. He only has 8 professional fights. They would have 100% believed you. That's how he looked out there. I know this was short notice. A lot of people were on Garry. A lot of people were high on Garry. Thought that he could beat Alex Pereira. He could be the one. Okay? Because of how he looked on his first fight. He was winning that fight and he just got clipped. Everybody was just, he'll just do it again. And yeah, he tried. He couldn't do it. And then he just went full Garry. Got clipped because Pereira's power is no joke. He's not Alexander Rakic. He's not fucking... who did he fight? He's not Volkan. He's not Dominic Reyes. God, this is terrible for the sport. I mean, a guy that actually takes this serious, that is physically gifted, because you have to give Pereira that he's physically gifted. I want to believe anybody can't just start training MMA and be UFC champion in 3 years. I know he had a full professional kickboxing career, but that's not MMA, okay? If you're just big, you're 6'2", you have a big body, and you just start training MMA, you can become UFC champion if you really want to. I mean, these guys are lazy, they're idiots, they do not take the sport seriously, they rarely train. I mean, look at what fucking Roman Dolidze did to Anthony Smith, okay? Anthony Smith, he's a lazy motherfucker, he's smart, but he's lazy, okay? I think he can make welterweight, but he's just fat. He's lazy, okay? A lot of these guys are. Look at fucking Martin Buday. That guy looks like he could make welterweight as well. He's just so fat. They barely train. Okay, Anthony Smith has gotten away with it because he's actually smart. He's not dumb. He's not an idiot. Like a Garry. Like a Johnny Walker. And that just, this is making my case for what I'm about to say about Alex. Everybody's just, I guess they're prisoners of the moment or have that recency bias kicking in. Everybody's talking about Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight, becoming 3-time champion, become a 3-division champ. And that sounds cool. I was like, oh yeah, could he can't beat John Jones, because everybody's just like, oh, remembers John Jones as losing to Dominic Reyes and he still got his hand raised. Then he beat Gone, a pillow hands fighter that is not invested in the sport. Again, another heavyweight that does not care about the sport, doesn't take himself seriously. He's just playing FIFA. He beat that guy. He made it look easy. He was supposed to be the number 1 contender or the next big thing in that horrible, god-awful, disgusting division that is heavyweight. And people think about John Jones now, oh, he's just a keyboard warrior. He's not a fighter anymore. Alex could beat this guy. Alex is active. He's the best company guy out there. He's the face of the UFC. He could easily clip John Jones, because John Jones is old now and fat, has breasts. But no. If Alex Pereira moves up the weight class, he's definitely skipping the line. He's either fighting John Jones or Tom Aspinall. If he fights, I don't think he beats Tom Aspinall. I don't think he can beat John Jones. I really don't. I mean, would he have a puncher's chance? Absolutely. Okay, this guy has the powers of all of his ancestors, all of the fucking shamans in Brazil. I don't know what the hell this guy is on with his magic and his fucking voodoo rituals and shit. But he has power, okay? And he's big. He's not small. He would probably be at 250. He could probably make 260. And not be fat. Like John Jones. Okay? He would be miles ahead on the clinical, technical skill. There's going to be a pretty big, significant skill gap between him and the heavyweights. Remember this guy fought at middleweight. How in the hell did he make middleweight? I don't know. I mean, if you look back at his first fights, he's so scrawny compared to what we're used to see him now. But I think if you're Alex Pereira, I know you could probably make big bucks of fighting John Jones, Aspinall, becoming a 3-division champ, triple champ. That'd be so cool. Could you be the GOAT I don't think so. I mean, I don't think he could be the GOAT. If he's the first to be a triple champion, I don't think he's automatically the GOAT. And the risk is too big. I don't think it's going to be easy. So if I was Alex Pereira, I would just stay at light heavyweight, a terrible, god awful division. There's no good up and coming prospects. I mean, what fucking Bogdan Guskan is going to beat? Get the fuck out of here! No way. Okay, he could just probably rack up 6-7 title defenses on 2 years, because that's the thing with Alex as well. I mean, he's getting up there in age. I know this is you don't need to be very skilled. Yeah, you don't have to be very skilled to fight in these divisions, and you can be old and still dominate. What about Alex is his chin. I think he does too. But if he stays active, I think he cleans out the whole division. Could probably rack up a shit ton of title defenses, and that puts him up there in the conversation. And I think he could do this in his sleep. He could probably also work on other deals off the ring, get his money there. Still headlining PPVs, easy title defenses. Could probably knock everybody out in the first and second round. Nobody's going to give him a hard time. Nobody's as good as him on the feet. They probably won't even try to take him down because they think they can't beat him at his own game. But yeah, if you're Alex, if I were him, I'd just stay in this shitty division, dominate for the next 2 years. And, maybe you get old, maybe you lose your title defense, maybe you lose your belt against someone that we do not know of, haven't heard from him, a prospect, because there's really no prospects in this division, so there's no threat for him. He could probably, spend more time with his kids while beating these bums. You could probably end your career at heavyweight after you defend your belt shit ton of times. Then you move up to heavyweight. There's no more John Jones, because I think John Jones is gone after this stupid fight. Aspinall, I mean, who knows what he will look like in 2 years. I mean, it's heavyweight. Fucking Pavlich can caught him, break him. Fucking Volkov. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I had to say about Alex. And Yuri, man. God. I think what he needs to do is go to a real fucking gym in the US. I don't know, go to fucking Dagestan and learn how to wrestle. I mean, whatever, just get out of that small gym you're in. You're not getting better, okay? If you on his 5 versus Rackets, he just toughed that shit out. He was getting schooled. And Rackets is good, but he was getting schooled. He looked like an idiot out there. He ate everything, but he looked like an idiot. He won. And that was a great fight. But you just can't get away with this, okay? You need to start some real fucking training. Stop hitting trees in the woods. And I understand what he does. I mean, I think he's, has to believe in, like, he's manifesting shit and projecting himself, and I believe in that. I think that helps. But you can just, go in a fucking dark little room, no food, no water, just, manifesting. I'm quoting that, manifesting that you're going to win every fight, and go out there and win. That's not gonna happen. That's just stupid. That's delusional. That's fucking autistic. And I know he is. But yeah, I mean, if you on his fight with Glover, I know he spent some time. I think it was wasn't he at Fight Ready? I think he was. He spent some time there, and he looked great against Glover. But when you can just get away with doing that bullshit in these divisions, I mean, why would these guys? They're just big and have power and have that puncher's chance. Until you don't, until you get caught. That's so stupid because Alex is smart. If you actually go and see the list of the champions of the UFC, they have IQ. Okay, they're not idiots. See John Jones, Dricus. I guess he's kind of an idiot. Alex Pereira's a genius. Okay, Islam Makhachev, smart. Topuria, smart. Volkanovski, a genius. O'Malley, smart. You can be good and get far being an idiot in this sport. You could probably win a belt by being an idiot, an ape, especially in these upper divisions. God, I was so pissed watching that fight. I mean, after that, I was just I could not believe how bad he looked out there. God, that's my rant. That's what I have to say about these two fighters. Then we go to the co-main event of the evening: Dan Ige versus Diego Lopes. First of all, these two got robbed. This was the fight of the night. I think they should have gotten the fight of the night just for showing up. I mean, Diego Lopes went through a lot. Ige showed up with 4 hours notice. I mean, I guess we unlocked a new mythical fighter in MMA for 4-hour notice. Ige. And he looked good. Obviously, he looked good. I mean, he didn't have to cut any weight. He was already in training camp for his fight with... wasn't he fighting Chepe? Wasn't he supposed to fight Chepe? I think he was supposed to fight Chepe. So he was the bigger man. Didn't have to cut any weight. Was already in good shape. And it showed on the third round. Diego Lopes went through hell, made 45. On that morning of weigh-in, they were like, "Oh, you know what? Ortega's not making weight. You need to go up to 55." Then hours before the fight, Ortega pulls out. Now he has to go to 165 because Dan Ige is available, but he wins 165. So Ige probably didn't even have to cut maybe a pound or two. And I thought Lopes looked great. Honestly, I think some people are saying like he got exposed, that his cardio sucks, and we're bashing him. But I thought he looked great. He dominated the first round. On the second round, he looked a bit tired. He wasn't gassed. He grappled, and I mean, we know Ige sucks. His jiu-jitsu is pretty bad. So he took advantage of that. He was up 2 rounds, and then he gassed. He gassed on the third round. Ige looked phenomenal. But the thing is here, Ige was playing with, Ige had nothing to lose. He showed up. He was supposed to show up, lose, which he did. Put up a good fight, and I mean, he was not finishing Ige. I mean, this guy, when fucking band for band with Josh Emmett. If Emmett's not finishing you, nobody is. Especially if you didn't have to cut weight. So he had a huge advantage there. So you're not. I mean, if you're not finishing this guy, 50K Ige. He got his. He got robbed, honestly. Because he always. He's always up to show. He's always up to show us that nickname. He's earned that 50K nickname. But a lot of people, I mean, I saw that there was some buzz around, Diego Lopez is a fraud. Because, there was always this kind of, people say that he had questionable cardio, that his cardio was his Achilles because this guy is so good, but he doesn't have a very good gas tank. And I don't think that was the case here. I mean, if you really put things into perspective, I thought he was, if he paced himself in that fight, he's not gassing out. Okay, if he paces himself, he's not gassing out. And if you consider the hell this guy went through for 2 days, his cardio is great, okay? He doesn't have any cardio issues whatsoever. So please stop saying that Diego Lopez's cardio is bad. He's very good, okay? You're not finishing it, so I'm not saying, this guy's a fraud, because he was finishing everybody else so fast before. I think he's going to beat FLOF. There's rumors for that fight on the Sphere on 306. I think he's going to beat FLOF. I think that guy's terrible. And Diego Lopez is him. Ige is unfinishable. And we move on. Then we go to the featured fight of the night. Anthony Smith and Roman Dolidze. Anthony Smith, man. This fight went pretty much how I thought it was going to go. Anthony Smith did not want it to be there. He did not want the Georgian smoke from Dolidze, okay? He just could not get out of the fight. I mean, he's such a company guy that he couldn't just say, hey, I'm not fighting this guy. He was going to show up and, we have to give him props for that. But Anthony Smith, this is the Anthony Smith that was supposed to show up versus Petrino. Petrino must be kicking, punching the air right now, because he was supposed to fight this version of Anthony Smith, okay? And maybe if Dolidze went full ape, we probably could have saw something similar, maybe. But yeah, I mean, Anthony Smith just show up to not get KO'd. I mean, he had no game plan really other than just take this fight to the distance and, hey, I went the distance with this killer and yeah, whatever, right? I mean, he was looking for a big shot, probably a knockout blow, but I mean, it was never there. And you gotta give Dolidze credit. I was not really sure about how he would look in this division, but he looked pretty good. I mean, if you do that against Anthony Smith, who's a legit top 10 205er, you're good. I was pretty surprised. He showed very high IQ, high fighting IQ for the division and for him. I mean, he's usually an ape, an idiot, and does everything wrong. And I thought he was pretty composed. has a great gas tank. He's very good on the ground, so he could have success on the future in this division. I think he should fight one more time. And if he has the same success, he should stay here. I don't see why he would go down again to middleweight. He was not very good in that division. He wasn't getting anywhere. And at 205, I think he could have a decent career. And yeah, I mean, this fight, I think it says more about Doliti than Smith. I think he found a new home, for sure. Then we go to the women's bantamweight division, MBS versus Macy Chiasson. Bullshit stoppage. I just don't see. I don't understand how a doctor, someone that has nothing to do with a fight, maybe they have money on this shit, I don't know, but how can someone that has not invested anything into this fight get to call something like that? I mean, if she wants to continue, she wants to continue. I mean, what? I mean, even if she dies, I don't think they could sue anybody. I don't think. I mean, the amount of shit the fighters signed to fight in the contracts. I mean, why do we have to go through all that if a fucking idiot is just going to step in and say, hey, she's not able to continue if she wants to continue? Whatever. I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the fight. Macy Chiasson was on his way to... she was winning the fight. Mayra Silva slowed down drastically. Okay, she had a great first round. And Macy Chiasson, she took a beating. Mayra Silva was just mean, and she couldn't get the job done early and was on his way to losing the fight. Chiasson was starting to dominate, and she put a huge cut. It was pretty disgusting. And she won the fight. I mean, was it a good stoppage? No. Do I care? No. In hindsight, I think this was good for MBS because, you know, she's trying to do well in her OF, you know. So a big ass scar, I mean, Chiasson would have left her fucked up if she continued. So hey, in hindsight, I think that was good for her. She was pretty pissed at that time, but now I think she's going to be pretty grateful to the doctor because the doctor saved her next career after she leaves the UFC. And yeah, good for her. I mean, she's not going to have a big ass ugly scar on her face. She can continue with her thing, you know. And I don't think we learned too much from this fight. Is Macy Chiasson going to win the belt? Hell no. Gail Harrison has finally arrived to the UFC after USADA is gone, of course. But, I mean, at the end of the day, who cares about this fight? We move on. Down we go. Ian Machado Garry versus MVP. Say what you want about Ian Garry or MVP. Was this fight boring? Yes, it was pretty bad. But Ian Machado Garry, that sounded weird. Ian Garry he's a winner. He's going to win. He finds a way to win. Okay, he's very good. He's very good everywhere now that he's training with Oliveira. He can grapple. I know Page is God. I mean, he's a fucking turtle off his back, that guy. But I think young Garry can grapple now. He's only going to get better. He has great IQ, and he really underestimated Page's speed. I mean, he was talking pre-fight, oh yeah, he's never seen speed like this before. I'm going to do this and da-da-da. He was getting cooked on the feet, okay. But I don't think there's shame in that. There's no shame in that. I don't think anybody can match Michael Page on the feet. Maybe Wonderboy, but he's old now, so in a point karate match, nobody's beating Michael Page. Nobody in the UFC is capable. Nobody has the skill. Nobody has that speed, that reach. Okay, that guy is untouchable on the feet, and we saw that. Ian Garry is a very good, very highly skilled striker. Okay, and I mean, we saw how that third round looked. He was holding on to dear life. He back MVP for 3 minutes. And that's how he got the win. Because he's a winner. He's going to keep winning. I think he can beat Shavkat. I would like to see him versus Colby Covington. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think the only guy that beats him is Leon. And that fight's going to be very boring. And I don't think he can do enough to beat the champ, if you know what I'm saying. But he was saying that he wobbled and saw MVP's eyes roll back. That's just, he's making shit up, you know. Whatever. Was this fight pretty lackluster? Yes. Was the Silva Chasson fight better? Probably. But MVP, man. God, anybody that has a threat of a takedown or a ground game is going to abuse this guy. He's a turtle. He's a turtle off his back. He will get eaten alive every time he gets to the floor. But hey, he's the fastest man alive. Nobody can do anything nobody can touch this guy in a striking match. If you see his fighting style, you would think he's open to kicks, but he just wants you to kick him so he can launch in with his counters. What I didn't like about him is there was no urgency to get off the ground. I know he could probably he doesn't have the skill, so he was probably thinking, if I try to get back up, I'll just get submitted. And that's probably right, but he lost the first round because of it. And I said this before. I said this pre-fight. I think he's more of an entertainer than a fighter. I think he's a quitter. I do not like that he has veneers on. But he's still pretty good. He's exciting. I just hope, I pray to God that the UFC never matches him with anyone that will grapple him. Because he's old now, so how many years left? How many years the UFC has left of MVP? And he's a fan favorite. The guy's pretty likable. He's a good guy, you know. I think you could throw him at least one more time, on a main event, on a PPV main card for sure. He's exciting. Just don't put him against a grappler and he'll be fine. I think he could probably win 3 out of 4 fights easily versus a striker, as long as you don't put him up against a Shavkat, a JDM or someone that will just go full ape and outwork him, outpower MVP. But he's good. I don't know why people shit on him and Garry. Garry just wanted to win, and Page, he can only strike. So that's that. Then we go to Joe Pyfer versus Mark and Ribeiro. I thought Mab looked old. I don't know if it was just Pyfer's power. I thought he looked old, and I think it was pretty. I don't want to say pretty obvious, but I think what happened was it's what most people expected to happen. Because Mab is just used to being the nail until his opponent gassed. And it's pretty hard to be the nail against a guy with a power like Pyfer. I don't think there's too much to learn from Mab on this fight. And Joe Pyfer, I mean, we know he had power. And the guy's pretty good. I think he shows patience. He just doesn't. I mean, he sees you hurt, and he just doesn't go full ape and go for the kill. He's methodical, and I like that about him. I think he. I don't want to. I'm not ready to go too far saying he will be champion or has the potential to be champion. I think he's definitely top 10. I thought that calling out Paul Craig. I mean, I know he has beef with Paul Craig, so he maybe wants to, just shut the fuck up, this little Scottish bitch that is Paul Craig. But we know the guy doesn't have any striking. He's gonna pull guard. I mean, Caio Borralho KO this dude. Borralho, I mean, we thought he didn't have any hands. He probably still doesn't have any hands. He was just fighting Paul Craig. But I mean, I guess I'll be down to see Paul Craig go to sleep in the octagon. That's always fun. So good for Joe Pyfer. Got a performance bonus, and yeah, good for him. He seems to be back on track, and hopefully we see him again soon. Down we go. Cub Swanson versus Andre Fili. Hey, I cannot wait to fade Andre Fili moving forward. Okay, I thought he looked terrible, god awful. I thought he lost the fight. I went and rewatched this, and it's pretty clear that Cub Swanson won rounds 2 and 3. I mean, if you're gonna count, just hanging and hugging up against the fence for 2 minutes, landing less and less meaningful shots. How can you give that guy that second round? Was it a robbery? No, I don't think it was a robbery. I thought Cub Swanson won. It was close, but I cannot wait to fade Fili, man. He looked great on the first round. He was managing his range perfectly. But, he just does what Fili does. He cannot get out of his own head once he, starts facing some adversity. I mean, Cub Swanson was landing and finally figured out how to get in Fili's face, that striking boxing range. And Fili was not comfortable. Swanson was landing that big right hand. He landed a couple of times. He wobbled him on round 2. On round 3, he hurt Fili 1 or 2 times. I cannot wait to fade Fili. I don't think he's good. He does not use his range very well. And Cub Swanson, hey, he's 40 years old, man. And he looked better on round 3. I thought Fili looked tired. He was so worried about it. He didn't know what to do. He had nothing on the feet for Cub. I mean, yeah, he occasionally would land some counters. But, the guy is huge. He's, 6 feet tall. Had like a 4-inch reach. He was the younger guy, and he lost that fight, in my opinion, in my eyes. I know he He got his hand raised, and I'm not saying I wouldn't say that's a robbery. But the robbery is that this got fight of the night. I mean, rewatching that shit, that was terrible. I mean, there was like two big shots from Cub Swanson. That was it. There was a lot of hugging from Fili. He won that fight and got fight of the night. Jesus, I don't understand how that's possible. Cub Swanson, I mean, we know what we get from him. He has to make it ugly. If he cannot make it ugly, he probably won't win. And he couldn't. Kudos to Fili for hugging his way to a win. Down we go. Jourdain versus Lord Silva. I know a lot of people were sad that Jourdain lost. He has quite a big fan base for how mid this guy is, with his pill hands. He just tries to out-volume you, put the pressure on you, and that did not work with John Silva, because Silva was like, oh, this guy has pillow hands. I can just go forward. He's not going to do shit. I have way more power than him. I'll just move forward. And that's what happened. I thought Jourdain looked worried after he felt Silva's power on that first round. And Silva has legit power for 45. I just hate that he did not make weight. And we're seeing him, next week? No, we're on the Namayuna's card. He's fighting. Is he fighting Dober? Yeah, right. He's stepping up, moving up a weight class to fight Dober. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll have to pull the tape on Dober, but I think I like Dober. Silva, he's a great guy. He's can be a little bit impatient. He's definitely an ape. But got the job done. He looked fantastic. Has a ton of power. I mean, the angle he got that punch off. I mean, and I don't think we've ever seen Jourdain look worried. I don't want to say scared, but I think Silva's special. The Lord. This guy has that tism. If he just he looks so nice. I mean, he was on the brink of collapsing. He's so happy to be there. He just starts crying when he starts talking about his family and his career and the UFC. But yeah, great win for Silva. I just hope he can continue to make weight, because I think he has some bright future ahead of him. And Jourdain, I mean, I think he's just a win one, lose one guy for the rest of his career. Down we go. Talbott versus Gamori. Didn't I call this or what? Talbott by first round KO. I made a shit ton of money with Talbott by KO. Got him at a pretty decent price. I called that first round knockout. I didn't thought it was going to be that easy, that quick. I mean, it took 15 seconds. I don't think I thought that what we learned is, we already know. We already knew all about Talbott. It was just the doubters, the allegations, and you know what I'm talking about, all that pole dancing and nail polish. But Peyton Talbott is him. whether you like him or not, whether those allegations are true or they're not, I don't care. He's great. He's so smart. He's a genius, man. This guy's IQ is off the charts. I think he has the potential to be champion. I love that call out. Adrian Yanez, and he seems that he responded on Twitter. I think he's down for it. I think Talbot's gonna beat his ass. I don't think Yanez is the guy we thought he was. And Talbot is the real deal. I mean, this guy is him. I know I already said about Diego Lopez, but they're not on the same weight class. But they're both him, just on their weight class. God, this was so fast, so quick. I mean, I thought he was going to last at least 2 minutes. But Gamora is not UFC level. I mean, this was a layup. He was there just to get knocked out. We already know that. Why couldn't they put this on the main card? I mean, there was barely any people in the building anyways. But whatever, we're going to see a lot of Talbot from the next, how old is this guy? 25? 24? I think he's 25. So for the next, 7, 8 years, I think we'll be seeing a lot from him. I think he has all the potential in the world, And he's so smart, and if you look at the champions, you have to be smart to be at least a successful champion, not just like a Sean Strickland, like a one and done. I don't think Strickland has a chance to recover that belt ever, because he's an idiot. I mean, he has a good fighting style, but he's stupid. And Pinton Talbot's not. And honestly, this guy's the limit for this kid. I'm happy for him. And I thought that went pretty well, because, I mean, even if we saw, I don't think he was going to shoot for a takedown. But if Gamori even threw shoot for a takedown and got Talbot down, oh my God, the haters would have been all over that. But I'm just happy that this was fast. I mean, we already know what was supposed to happen. And he did what he was supposed to do, and he got the job done faster than anybody predicted it to do. Down we go to the early prelims. The Karate Hottie and Julian Robertson. What are we doing here? Honestly, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, why is Michelle Waterson Gomez getting a tribute video like that? What has she done? I know, when she got a tribute video, like she was some former champion or whatever. She never did anything in her career inside the octagon. Okay, she's hot. They probably want him to keep her around. That's why they did that. That makes sense. I think she would be a great broadcaster, great commentator. But come on. I mean, if you did that for her, you're going to start... I mean, they didn't do shit for Arlovsky. They knew it was his last fight, and they didn't do shit. Hey, Arlovsky won a belt 20 years ago, but he won the belt. What the fuck did I keep saying Jillian Robertson. What the fuck did Michelle Waterson do? Oh, they're being hot. Jesus. But anyways, she's retired now. Hope she does good. Hope she starts an OnlyFans, Jillian Robertson looked great. She always looks great, elite, when she's facing a mid or bad level jiu-jitsu girl. She's huge for the division. I think she's going to do very well. I think she could be a problem at the top 20, at the top 10. She looked very dominant. Since her move to go shit, she's looked great on the ground, great control. She looks big, and she's a lot more active on the ground with her ground and pound. I think she's getting meaner. I think she's getting better every fight, and that's why I mean, I didn't want to just take Jalen Robertson by sub. I lost some money, yes. I had Jalen Robertson by finish. That didn't cash, but she looked great. Honestly, great performance, and let's hope Michelle Waterson has a happy retirement. Down we go to Arlovsky versus Jabba the Hutt, Martin Buday. God, I don't want to rant about this because I already talked about it a little bit on the Yuri Pereira fight recap, but heavyweight needs to go. Heavyweight needs to go. This is one of the reasons why. I mean, outside of the top 3, or outside of the top 5, and Jai Hilton, heavyweight is horrible, it's terrible, it sucks. It's just some big guys that decided to train MMA and have power, have more power than the average morbidly obese man, and decided to train MMA, and they're here in the UFC. At this point, I mean, what are we doing? This is a joke. I mean, what the fuck was Martin Buday doing out there? I don't know if it was because of fucking respect. He knew this was Arlovsky's last fight. He didn't want to put a beating on him. I mean, what are we doing? Martin Buday, do you want to do this or not? I mean, you started your career very well. You were 4-0 on the UFC. Then you lost to Gassiev. You lost to fucking Gassiev, got hurt badly in that fight. I thought you were going to bounce back, but you lost this fight. I don't care that he got his hand raised. He lost. This was a fucking robbery, okay? Arlovsky could have won all 3 rounds. And I don't know how you don't give him this fight. He was actually trying to do more shit than Buday. God damn it. And Buday, I mean, he'll fool you. You think he has good cardio, but it's because he just doesn't do shit. How are you going to get tired if you don't do shit? And Arlovsky, I mean, shout out to Arlovsky, man. He was trying. He's never had much power, but I mean, now obviously he doesn't have shit. But Jesus Christ, I hate heavyweight. I hate light heavyweight. I think those divisions need to go. I mean, if we already did it for the women's featherweight, why not just get rid of heavyweight? I know it's kind of where you go to see knockouts, but these guys don't even want to hit each other anymore. Okay, they just wanna fucking hug out there against the fans for 15 minutes. I mean, Buday, he's good on the clinch, and he wasn't throwing no knees, no elbows. He has some nasty elbows on the clinch. I have no idea what he was doing out there. He lost that fight. But this is a disgrace to the sport, to martial arts, to professional sports. I mean, how do you say this is a professional mixed martial arts fight? And the fact that we have to sit through one of these fights pretty much every week. Just leave these fat, lazy fucks on the Apex cards. Don't have them on main cards. No fucking fight nights out of the Apex. No UFC events, nothing. Just put these, just make all the Apex cards. Let's put 5 heavyweight fights on all of the Apex cards, because that's where they belong. They should be caged to the Apex. They need to be thrown in fucking jail. That's what the Apex is, and they suck. They should just stick to the Apex. I mean, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It just it sucks that well, it doesn't suck. I mean, I wish Arlovsky a happy retirement. I mean, he probably won't retire. He'll just keep fighting, because I don't know why he keeps fighting. He doesn't do anything anymore. He's just, out there fainting and moving from left to right. Gotta give him credit, though. He was actually trying. He just cannot hurt anybody anymore. But heavyweight needs to go, honestly. I do not want to see that division anymore. It's so low level. Those guys, I don't think I really don't think they train. I mean, even if when they're on fucking camp, they're not training. They'll probably just go to the gym and, chatter around and maybe hit the fucking punching bag a couple times, fight around, do some. I don't think they even do wrestle. These guys just roll around the mat, hit the punching bag 30 minutes, and then they go on the treadmill and walk. They walk 30 minutes on a 3-mile-an-hour speed with a 10% incline on the treadmill. They call it a day. God, these guys are pathetic. Down we go. Carlos Hernandez and Rei NotTairauya. I told you guys, Rei NotTairauya is not as good as Taira. This line was too wide. Yes, I lost money here, but you could have made an argument for Hernandez winning round 2. He definitely won round 3. But I'm fine. I mean, I'm not coping here. I thought it was a good fight. Honestly, this was better than the Fili and Swanson fight. This also could have gotten fight of the night. There wasn't many damage done in this fight, but it was entertaining. It was some high level grappling from NotTairauya. I mean, that guy is going to turn you into a pretzel if you lose focus for a second. And Hernandez has great scrambles. I mean, that first round, it looked hard for Hernandez out there, but he did great. He managed to survive, and he's starting to do a lot better as the fight went on. NotTairauya kind of gassed at the end. Hernandez has great cardio, is coachable. We know, I mean, this guy's losses really great. I mean, he has losses to NotTairauya, who I think is a legit top 15 fighter now that I've seen him against better competition. Because, I mean, honestly, Carlos, I think he's pretty underrated. I mean, I talked about this on the preview, and NotTairauya made it look easy on that first round. I thought NotTairauya could have finished him. Was it on the first? I think was it the second round? I think it was the start of the second round. He could have finished if he really tried to. He has questionable cardio. You could say that he has questionable cardio, but that's only if you fucking weather the storm for a round and a half. I don't think there's a lot of guys. I know this is flyweight and everybody's just so good and has 100,000 times more skill than the heavyweights. But I think this guy has a great future. Hernandez losses will like a fine wine, really. I mean, he has losses against Taira, against Tairauya, and Altamirano. No, that guy. What's this guy named that also has some very great jiu-jitsu from Brazil? It's not Almeida. It's not Altamirano. I always say Altamirano when I'm talking. It's fucking Alan Nascimento. I think that guy's legit as well. So I hope they keep Hernandez because he has to win his next fight because he's honestly good. I like him a lot. I don't think the guy, UFC is going to let go of a guy like this. I hope they don't. Tairauya, I mean, he did great. I mean, this was his first time fighting in the US. This was in front of a crowd. And, I mean, I know that, the fucking arena was empty when he fought, but he got the experience, and he showed levels, really. He did great against a very good, proven MMA fighter, a lot better than what he's used to see, and his grappling looked even better than previous, so I think this kid's getting better. And I mean, the next fight he could look like he's going to look better, because I think these Japanese kids are on the come up. Definitely we have to keep an eye out for them. Down we go to the gutter. Ricky Simón versus Vinicius Oliveira. Just as I finished shitting on light heavyweight, saying how there's a huge skill gap. This small man from flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight have incredible skills. They're so high level. They're great everywhere. You can't have any holes in your game. And we see Ricky Simón. God, what the fuck? What the fuck happened to the Ricky Simón, man? I mean, he looked good versus Jack Shore, and Jack Shore is very good. He got Song Yadong put a clinic on him, and now Vinicius Oliveira puts a clinic on him while he got injured during the fight. I mean, come on, what the fuck was that performance from Simón? I mean, he's supposed to be like this crazy wrestler with incredible cardio, will just shoot for takedowns. Bro got one takedown. I think he got, maybe 2 takedowns. He wasn't throwing shit on the feet. He was scared of Oliveira's power, of his range. And kudos to Oliveira for stopping those takedowns. He looked great out there. I thought he was going to get exposed because Sopai pretty much exposed him for a round and a half. Because this guy has terrible takedown defense, but it seems that he got better, or either is that or Simón sucks, and I'm leaning towards the latter. I think Simón is awful. I don't think he wants to fight anymore. I mean, you're supposed to be a wrestler. I understand you're not striking with this guy, but I mean, he got hurt on with 2-3 minutes left on the second round, and if you see that, you just have to attack that right away. You could probably get a stoppage. Just because everybody saw it, the refs, everybody that was watching that fight saw that he got hurt, and it looked. I'm not saying he's going to be out for a year or months, but it looked bad for. You could even see it on Oliveira's face. He was like, "God damn it." And Ricky Simón did not do anything. He did not push the pace. Go for a fucking single. Like, I don't know. Just throw punches. Throw power. This guy is hurt. But even with one leg, Oliveira won that third round. He outclassed him. I don't know if Ricky Simón is an idiot or I mean, he's not very. I thought he looked disengaged. I don't think he was focused. I don't think he cared. I mean, I would too, if I was. I was coming off headlining I know it's a fight night, but still, you're on a main event, and now you're on the fucking gutter on a PPV like early prelim opener, first fight of the night, when there's nobody on the arena. You're fighting. I know you're unranked now, but you're fighting an unranked guy. That's a prospect that the UFC wants that guy to knock you out, and you put that performance. Jesus. That's that. For my review on my bets, I lost money on Carlos Hernandez, on Jalen Robertson by finish, and I made bank with Talbott by KO. I also won some money on the Garry fight. I made a decent amount on Roman Dolidze. And what was my other bet? I had 6. Oh, Silva. Yeah, Silva. It was a small play, but I still won. So I went 4-2. And yeah, we have a week off next Saturday, so that's gonna be interesting. That car looks. I think they saved that car with adding Josh Van versus Energy. I'm really looking forward to that, but that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a comment and tell me how you did on your picks or your bets on the UFC's 303. And I'll try to upload the Namajunas Cortez card video on. I'll do my best to have that video up by Thursday.